So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is another Cyberscope Twitter space, but this time we won't be looking into security that much, but mostly on the we'll walk through Areon chain, which is a very innovative and powerful chain, and we have Denise here with us to tell us all about it. Hello, Denise. Thank you so
Hey
much for
guys,
joining us.
thank you for having us. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be here talking to you because I know we're also collaborating with the hackathon going on. So let me just start with telling you a little bit of Areon so that your audience is also aware of what we're doing, what we're
Yes.
building.
Allow me to go through the questions because I actually have like structured everything so it
Oh,
makes
cool.
sense.
Sounds
So
great.
to kick things off, perhaps just go through like a very brief introduction to Aryan Chain in like one sentence. Its mission and basically your role within the organization, if you may.
Awesome, awesome. So Areon Network is a layer one project. We are building our own chain. It's called Areon Chain. Uh, it's an EVM compatible chain with its own consensus mechanism called proof of area. It's a clever little twist to proof of stake. We are involving metaverse in the equation here. I am the head of marketing here, and I'm just happy to be here and telling you all about it.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for the short introduction. All right, so I'd really like to learn more about the team's background. Like before we get into Iron Chain, like in depth, in details.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about the team's background. Basically how it all started. Like what created the spark that made you guys want to build Iron Chain, actually.
Yeah, so I mean, we have been in the financial technology industry and also blockchain related activities for a long time. By we, I mean the founders, the main people that have been involved in this process from the day one. It's been a couple of years, maybe a bit more. We have been basically avid crypto users ourselves, and we have just analyzed what is available on the market in terms of layer one projects. And we realized that there are some maybe pain points we could call. It's very much like a trilemma that we see in most of the projects, right? And we realize that maybe if we come up with a better technology and if we can maybe actually run the process a bit better than what others are doing currently in terms of community management, then we can maybe end up with a better solution, a better project for everyone. So we came up with this idea, Areon Network, and we just wanted to become the best chain, the best network for the end user in terms of speed, in terms of scalability, in terms of low gas fees. We just want this to be the most convenient chain that anyone can use on a daily basis. That was the idea behind the Areon network. And some of the members, especially the developers team, have been involved with Ethereum project in the past. Myself, I've been in the finance industry for a long time, especially in the marketing sense. And right now, the team is growing a lot faster than we could imagine, thanks to the amazing support of our community. We have offices in Malta, in Netherlands, in Germany, in Turkey, and it's just growing so fast, so quick, especially the local communities. We are blessed with this amazing community. We're just happy to be growing fast.
Perfect, thank you. Well, to be honest, you guys have a really strong community, like compared to other networks as well, because we've seen, other layer twos and layer ones, to be honest,
Yeah,
that obviously have like a lot of followers, but then very little engagement. But you
yeah.
guys actually have like a solid and what do you call that? I'm trying.
Interaction, engagement.
It's
Yeah,
organic. That's what I was trying to say. It's actually organic.
yes, absolutely.
So all right, so let's dive into Iron Chain itself right now. So you briefly mentioned how it basically differs from other blockchains. So
Mhm.
first and foremost is the community side of things, 100%, and then we also talked about proof of area, right? So
Yeah.
what's proof of area, and what are some of its benefits? Let's say.
Sure. So, like many other EVM compatible chains and also any consensus mechanism that is loosely and slightly based on proof of stake, we have the same idea, right? You basically stake your coins, stake your tokens, and as a reward, the chain validation, you receive some benefits, you reap the benefits. What we did with Areon chain, or from the day one, we first made sure that the chain is optimized perfectly, and we made sure that the coding has been efficient, scalable. That was our number one topic. Number two, and which brings me to the unique consensus mechanism we call proof of area. We wanted to add a little bit of incentive to the staker, to the person who is holding our coin in more than one ways. Normally, what you would expect from proof of stake model is that basically you're investing in a coin, and as such, the coin rewards you for the transactions. But we wanted to add a bit more benefits so that holding the coin is actually interesting for people in the long run. We wanted to add the twist of metaverse to it. Here is how it goes. If you have 10,000 coins of area, and if you're holding this amount that we initially decided, you're basically entitled to a land in our metaverse, Areon City, as we call it. And on this digital space, you can do lots of things. First of all, this also entitles you to the stake rewards, the validation rewards, obviously. And secondly, and more importantly, you can actually build anything you want on top of it. This digital space is yours. You can use it to advertise, you can loan it to someone else, or you can build something inside the metaverse. So that means you have more than one reason to keep holding area, our token, our coin, and also more than one reason to become a validator in the long run, because then you're inside the ecosystem in several ways, let's call it, and that is just an extra benefit for you to hold the coin in the long run. This method, this effective idea has proven that people actually want to get more engaged with the network itself, not just for the transaction rewards, but in other ways too. And metaverse is just a means to it. It's just a way to do it. This idea, this concept can be replicated, obviously, but proof of area itself is a unique consensus mechanism, and we're just super proud of it.
Nice one. I actually find this very interesting. But before we get into the metaverse side of things, because I have some questions up on that as well, I'd like you to
Yeah.
go through some of the challenges that you guys perhaps faced up to today. Because I understand that building a layer one, in today's market,
Yeah.
plus with all the competition, right? It could be kind of challenging.
Exactly. I mean, building the technology is a challenge in itself. Obviously, you want to make the code perfect to the last decimal. You want it to be working like right on the clock, and you want it to be scalable. You want it to be just enough weight. You don't want it to add any weight, or you don't want any extra weight here. So the problem was that optimizing the code is just the first step, the first hurdle, because then comes, as you said, the competition itself. There are tons of layer ones out there, or layer two projects too, with interesting, ideas, creative solutions. So we had to go above and beyond to actually compete with these other projects. And our maybe strong suits, our unique selling points in this sense, are that our chain is extremely resilient. It can go up to 600,000 transactions per second in test environment, which is a crazy good number. And the transaction speed can go as low as 100 milliseconds. And as I said, we have this mentality of looking after the end user. We want this to be a convenience tool for everyone. So the gas fees will accordingly be cheaper and competitive compared to all the other alternatives out there. So I'm trying to get to the point that our chain is basically utility and infrastructure for the whole network, whole ecosystem. And any dApp developer, anyone with a cool idea who would consider Areon chain as their basis will realize that this is in fact a powerful and competitive chain. So this is one of the reasons that Areon network as a general can go beyond the competition maybe. And as you also aptly put, our community is quite engaged, quite active. So this is also one of our strongest suits, I would say.
Awesome, thank you, Denise. Sometimes I feel like you're in my head because I wanted to ask you about the numbers like transaction speed, gas fees, and all these sort of things, but you already came through. Um, so that's pretty awesome, and like I'm looking forward to actually using Areon myself. But like as an individual, of course. But now let's move on to the metaverse side of things, right? Are you guys working with anybody on that, or everything is happening in house? How's that going for you?
So our team, our staff is actually supervising it mostly, and basically it's going to be an in-house product at the end. But definitely for the metaverse building part, we are working with some experts, and in fact multiple teams because we don't want this to be a bottleneck for the project itself. So the development is actually going on at the moment as we speak, and there are different parts, different aspects of it, as you know. But the biggest challenge is building the 3D renderings of themselves, right? So this is the biggest part, and it's under development. It's been under development for a while because we just want to come up with the most efficient platform, and in the sense that people should be able to access it even with a low end device, because the whole purpose of being decentralized and the whole purpose of looking after the end user is that you should give them equal opportunities in every way possible. And that means whatever you build, it must be beautiful, obviously. We're talking about metaverse here. And whatever you build must be functional, but also it should be accessible by everyone. So that's a big challenge. That's why it's taking a long time, and we have been developing it with multiple teams at the moment. When it ends, it's gonna be this financial hub buzzing with activity where companies, where other projects can take part simply by building something on top of it, and our users will be able to run around with their avatars, right? And then they will be able to engage with these other businesses where have been like conveniently placed inside the Areon city. And it's going to be a perfect way for them to access these services granted by uh, any company that is partnered or working with Areon network. We are doing this because we want this ecosystem, this network, to be rich and giving opportunities to multiple users at the same time. So it's going to be fairly large. It's not going to be, I mean, boundless or insanely large. Definitely no. But for started, it's going to be kind of okay. I would say middle sized. And then from there forward, we're going to keep expanding as we keep expanding our network itself.
Exactly. I feel like that's the best approach you could take actually. Starting off from the fact that one of the biggest challenges in the
Yeah.
metaverse world is to actually be able to run it on every device, like you mentioned. And the other thing is like it's better to start kind of like on a reasonable size, let's say, and then just grow it from there in terms
Yeah.
of how many more people want to build on it, et cetera, basically. So okay, now that we also went over the metaverse, the main focus of the Twitter space was actually for the hackathon that you guys are
Yeah.
hosting, which is pretty exciting, and we're also sponsoring, of course, and we're very happy to sponsor because it's going to be a very innovative hackathon.
Yeah.
So you guys are hosting a huge hackathon with over 500K in prizes.
Mm-hmm.
What is the ultimate goal, let's say, for the hackathon? And since we have like, I feel like we have a lot of developers in here. Majority
Yeah.
of them are probably developers. So how can they participate?
First of all, thank you, and
You know, right?
thanks to Cyberscope for being a partner in this. This event meant a lot to us in more than one ways. Basically, the essential idea behind the hackathon is for a project at our stage is obviously to attract as many developers as we can. Why would we do that? Because we have this chain, this powerful monsters chain that can do lots of things, right? And we just want people to come and get familiar with it. And what better way to do it than turning it into a competition and gamifying the whole process? So we came up with this idea that if we can reach out to as many coders, as many developers as we can, essentially, if they realize that this chain is exactly what they need to develop whatever ideas they have, then it's also in the long run, it's also in the end a perfect opportunity for our own network because people will be able to find several products, several projects with added value inserted into our ecosystem. At the end of this hackathon, we will have lots of dApps available in many verticals, in many tracks, and people will be able to use them for many purposes. This is for the end user's perspective because then Areon investors will be able to say, yeah, okay, I mean, I have several wallet options or I have several DEX options, swap options, chains, and this hasn't been the case before because in the period of 2 months of this hackathon, these projects that are coming from various verticals will enrich our network with tons of cool ideas. And who knows, maybe they can even come up with something unique, something that hasn't been done before. And it could be the first time that they do it with Areon chain, and it would be just perfect. Now, from our point of view, we wish to you know give back to the community of developers because we understand that coming up with cool ideas is something unique and it's a rare thing. You don't often find good ideas. Most of the time, the ideas are replicated. People come up with something, and then you see tons of competitors doing the same thing. Now, during all this, obviously, developers and the creative minds behind what we use today as fantastic dApps today, those people don't come up with these ideas too often. So you have to be there. You have to be giving them the opportunity so that they can build for you. So we thought if we do this code area for about 2 months of period, this is enough time for people to build something that is valuable. And we believe that this will the whole prize, because the prize is quite large, as you can see, $500,000. It's a big benefit pool, and this is also thanks to our sponsors and partners like yourselves that are contributing to this idea. We know that around the world there are some places that might be difficult for developers to, come out and showcase their products, but we just want Code Area to be the platform for these people. So we are super excited about this in more than one way.
Awesome, perfect. And something I wanted to say personally is that I appreciate you guys a lot because you're putting a lot of effort into this hackathon, and you understand this, like even by the developer resources and all the guidelines that you guys have, like it's pretty straightforward and easy for a dev to like take part, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's actually taken a lot of time to, streamline this mainstream whole thing because we understand that uh, new new products or new projects can be confusing. We didn't want our developers to lose any time when they do things. So registering and the guidelines, as you said, and also the support whenever they need will be instantly available to them. So we just want them to come up with good ideas and submit their builds. So whatever they do best.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to explaining your tech, you guys have done a great job because it doesn't really matter on how great your product is as long as the consumer, right, does not understand what's it about, right?
Absolutely.
So and that also like kind of plays part in the community side of things because it looks like the community is pretty excited for what you guys are building. All right, so moving on, let's kind of go through the main tracks of the hackathon.
Mhm. So we basically wanted to keep everything under three main tracks. So the first track will be Web3, NFT, and gaming. Essentially, if you have any ideas, which could be a design idea, which could be a code that you wish to see where it's going, or an entire fully fledged project, maybe. If it fits under one of these categories, they are more than welcome. Um, but we also wanted to add two uh, additional tracks to what you could find mostly in mainstream hackathon events, and those are student quota and community favorite. Basically, as we said, we are in this just to support the developers, so that's why we wanted to show an extra appreciation for students who are just at the beginning of their careers. So anyone who is a student in a university, and if the whole team, the entire team is made of students, Then their projects, their submissions will be reviewed and categorized as under student quota, and they will be given extra opportunities to showcase their products. And likewise, the community favorite is one of our fun touches to the hackathon itself, because as you said, our community is super active, and we just came up with this idea that basically the submissions will be listed on our Discord server and our webpage, and then our holders or our investors will be able to come and vote on their favorite project, so that we can put a little bit of extra effort to launching those projects. Uh, this was the idea behind these 5 tracks when we set this up.
Nice one. I love that. And actually, I'm pretty like honestly, I'm impressed by the work you guys have done in the community. And since you're the marketing expert here, could you just give us a few points on how you guys actually made this happen? I mean, how do you have such an engaging community? I do
Mhm.
understand, but by a few points that you already mentioned, I get it. But like
Mhm.
on an earlier stage, right? How were you able to attract the audience in that way?
So a lot of projects, layer ones, layer twos, I see a common mistake they make, because this is something I do often, and I can tell just by looking at it. Problem is, they try to build their communities vertically. By that, I mean they put everyone in one basket. They make one channel, one group, and they try to force their communication one-sidedly. That means they are not engaging with the incoming questions. They are sometimes ignoring or dodging questions. They're not being transparent enough, and they are just losing the connection, the touch between the investor and the project. Whereas Areon is trying to build horizontally, meaning we are trying to raise up multiple communities at the same time. We are finding local moderators who speak the language, who understand the culture, and who knows the best about the dynamics of their countries. And we are trying to cooperate with these people in building our community around a simple rule. That is, don't allow anyone to manipulate the project, the price itself. Second, don't let any question go unanswered. And we're trying to be as transparent as we can and as quick as we can when we replace these questions. So imagine this: you speak, let's say, only Indonesian, right? You don't speak other language. I mean, you have basic English skills, but you are also interested in this project, this Areon. You heard about it, but you check and all the documentation is in English. Understandably, it's a global language, but still you have some questions and you have no idea how to answer them. You try some translator tools, it's not helping. You still have questions, you don't know how to proceed. And at this stage, if there is only one global channel that you can interact with, you are at the mercy of your fellow Indonesians. If someone comes to you and explains to you in your language, that's it. I mean, there's the chance that you can get scammed by these people. So our approach is that if you're speaking your local language, you should be able to receive local support from us. And you should be able to receive it directly from the project Aerial network itself. So that's why we're helping people in their language in our Discord server whenever they come and open a ticket for support, or whenever they come to one of our global channels, we are quickly directing them to the relevant subgroup. This has been our approach, and it's working remarkably well, because then people understand they are cared, they are valued, and their questions are never going unanswered. So this is all about two-way communication. And if you can make that, if you can raise the local communities, you're golden. Your engagement is always on point.
Yep, 100%. And I mean, I feel like the biggest mistakes most of the other projects are doing is that they're underestimating the community by a lot. Like you said, um, so for the metaverse, right? When can we expect roughly everything to be kind of in action, right?
So we actually announced it to be between somewhere between, well, maybe starting from 2025, let's say, because this is gonna take time, obviously. We also announced that this won't be hand in hand with mainnet, so people shouldn't expect them to come together as a package, right? Uh, but in terms of metaverse, from time to time, we sometimes tease the community. We share some clips. Sometimes we give them ideas as to what we're building at the moment, and people just love it. But they also understand that it's premature to talk about it. It's premature to give them any definite answers, definite facts at the moment. But I can tell you that 2025 can be a reasonable goal or reasonable date for this project. So it's going to take a little time. We are just asking everyone for their patience.
No, I mean, good things takes time. Take time. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's going to be great. Now, on the other another thing that I wanted to comment on earlier, but I'm just trying to structure my thoughts, to be honest, because we're like talking about a lot of things, and yeah, I'm just kind of losing it. So for the hackathon, you said your community will be your holders actually will be able to vote on the projects, and here's what I thought about this. So your main goal of the hackathon is to have like DApps on like yeah, bring projects in your ecosystem that are going to be highly used by your community, right?
Yep.
So in order to do that, you need the community to vote for which project they'd like to use, and that's what I like about the hackathon, because most of the other hackathons we see like a lot of of course experts when it comes to judging, but at the end of the day, did anyone ask the community? So
Absolutely. Yeah. So the cool thing, as you said, we do have judges. Obviously, we are going to recruit them, and we still do from various tracks, various partners that we have. But we also wanted to, leave one single track for this purpose. Like there is an entire track dedicated to community favorites. And as you said, we couldn't get this far without our community. And obviously, from here on, we're still going to need their support in everything we do. And that's why it's very important for them, for us, to receive their votes based on seeing the merits of the projects. And we also believe it's a great idea from the developer's perspective, because if they can actually showcase what they're doing, if they can actually present it in the best way possible, there's a high chance that they will actually receive venture capital from different sources as well. It's not just going to be our grant, it's not just going to be our prize cash money, but they will also be attracting lots of attention because they will be introducing themselves to the community. So it's a win-win situation, we believe.
Yep, 100%. And I'm really excited to see the projects that are going to come up to the top. I think it's ending at in February. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, and even now, as we speak, people are registering for the event. If anyone is interested in seeing the current progress or how many projects have been submitted, they can visit our Discord server, where they will be able to see the list of available projects. And even if they like it, they can start voting on them as well. So go ahead and visit our Discord, guys.
Perfect. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's urge everyone to like get in the Discord and track the process, because it's pretty exciting. So like our space is slowly coming to an end. I think we covered most of the fields that need to be covered. And now I'm wondering, some of the, I mean, we of course talked about the future plans, but is there anything that you could kind of hint us maybe, or like, um,
Mhm. Well, obviously, everyone is expecting the mainnet date. This is something we haven't disclosed yet, and respectfully, we will also refrain from disclosing at the moment. But our community is also eagerly awaiting a news that we teased a couple of weeks ago. That was for December 12th. So something huge is coming, and we have been planning it for a very long time. I think it's going to be worth the wait when we announce it. But technically, generally speaking, obviously after the hackathon is announced, the next logical step is mainnet when you think about it. So as you know, we're at the testnet phase, and the chain is working perfectly well so far with over 10 million transactions. No issues, no problems. It's working like clock. And obviously the next stage is mainnet, guys. So the biggest thing you can expect from Areon for sure is mainnet. But Areonites know that we are full of surprises, and we're about to pull a couple of rabbits from our hats here. So you should expect something extra fun coming in the coming days. I'm not gonna say too much because it would be violating a lot of things we do here. But I can safely say that with mainnet, along with mainnet, you can expect more surprises from Areon.
Perfect, perfect. I love that, and like I said, I'm pretty excited, and I like that you guys are not over promising because this is another mistake that a lot of projects are doing, right? Like they're pretty excited
Mm-hmm.
about what they're building and their tech, and they want to pass this excitement over to their community, and at
Yeah,
the end of the day, they kind of end up like over promising things because of the excitement and everything, and then not being able to deliver on time. But regardless, I'm sure that's not the case in your case for sure. Considering history as well. So thank you so much for coming today on here, Denise, and letting us know about Iron Chain. I like that you guys are completely different. By like we see a lot of chains coming up,
yeah,
but they don't really differ from each other, right? But you guys are
yeah.
different, and I see a lot of potential in the chain. So I'm pretty excited to see everything in action. And yeah, I mean. We'll keep in touch for sure because we're also contributing to the hackathon.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, we'll stay in touch. Thank you so much, Denise, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you and telling you about our project. We love it so much. We are passionate about it, and we just want to keep doing what we do best. Just stay tuned, guys. It's gonna get even better from here on.
Perfect. No, and you know what? I actually see that. I see the passion and I see the effort, and that's what excites me the most, to be honest. Because we've seen a lot of projects promising things, but then at the end of the day, I never felt like they could deliver. Whereas I get the sense that you guys are going to do the extra mile in this one.
Thank you so much. It's really it's beautiful to hear that from you because this is how we feel. We just believe that we won't disappoint anyone because since day one, whatever we promised on the roadmap, we delivered, and it's just gonna keep happening.
Perfect, perfect. All right, awesome. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll make sure to keep our community updated on the hackathon side of things for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for everyone for listening.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in the next Twitter space. Have a good day.
Bye.